Parshas Re'eh, Tavshin Ayin Vav. So it was really great to do the shir the past couple of weeks from Yerushalayim. But of course, we're very, very happy to be back here in our regular location in Nesivos Shalom headquarters, Lakewood, New Jersey. Parshas Re'eh inevitably comes out either Shabbos Mevorchim of Chodesh Elul, or even more, as in this year, and last year too, actually, Parshas Re'eh comes out on Rosh Chodesh Elul. And actually, I look at this as our first wake-up call, our first wake-up call for the month ahead and for the Yom Noraim. Tomorrow night will already be Rosh Chodesh Elul. It's tough to believe. Feels like last year's Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot just rolled past us, and somehow we went through a whole year, and here we are once again, Rosh Chodesh Elul. And it's for good reason that Parshas Re'eh comes out as our first reminder at the beginning of Elul, because Parshas Re'eh is packed with lessons and keys to help us at this time of introspection and hopefully what will be a time of growth. You can't just float through Chodesh Elul. Chodesh Elul can't just happen as so many of the other months of the year just roll along. Chodesh Elul we have to be prepared for before Chodesh Elul hits, that we would like to use this month, to use it to grow and to become a different person a month from now. Before we get to Rosh Hashanah, we should have grown and taken some of the lessons. And some of the lessons, says in Nesivos Shalom, are right here in our parsha of this week. And Nesivos Shalom gives us a great lesson, actually a few great lessons which we've spoken about over the past few years, on the first words of the parsha. The first words of the parsha tell us, Re'eh Anochi Noisein Lifneichem Hayoim. I want you to see, the Torah says, I want you to see how I give before you Hayoim today, Bracha Uklala. In front of a person, right now in front of you, we're giving you here a bracha or Chas v'Shalom, a klala. And Hashem is telling us, says the Nesivos Shalom, one way of looking at this pasuk. You know what Hashem is telling us when we say Re'eh Anochi Noisein Lifneichem Hayoim Bracha Uklala? You know what the Torah is telling us? Hashem is telling us through the Torah here that in every single thing that is on this world, in every single thing that Hashem gives us, there is a Sai in Ruchnius and Sai in Gashmius. Everything that we do and everything that we see could be either a bracha or a klala. Re'eh Anochi Noisein Lifneichem Hayoim. Hashem saying everything that is here in front of you in this world, Sai Ruchnius, Sai Gashmius, has the potential to be bracha or klala. Because of the pagam, we know, because of the pagam of the Eitz Hadas, this world, the world that we live in right now, is a world of mixture. And everything is a mixture. Before the pagam of the Eitz Hadas, we knew what was good. Everything was 100% of something. But since then, everything is a mixture of good and bad. There's bracha and there's klala and everything. And the Gemara Masechta Yuma, Daf Ayin Beis, Amud Beis, tells us that even in Torah also has this characteristic. Torah, we know, with Torah, Zoiche, if a person is Zoiche, then Nasasloi Sam Chaim, if a person is Zoiche, then the Torah becomes like a medicine of life for a person. But Loi Zoiche, if a person is not Zoiche, then Chas v'Shalom, it could be the opposite. And that is the way of Olam Hazeh. That is the way of everything in this world. And it works the other way too, says Nesivos Shalom. Even the thing that you would think of as the most megusham, the thing that is the most gashmias, even something like that, within something which is so deep in gashmias, a person can create tremendous bracha. How? If you do it, and and you use the thing according to the Ratzon Hashem. And that's what the pasuk means, says in Nesivos Shalom. Es ha-bracha. What is the bracha? How do we get bracha, says the Torah? Asher tishmu'u el mitzvos Hashem alekechem. The bracha comes from anything. The bracha comes from listening to Hashem, listening to what Hashem wants you to do at that very moment, doing things with the Ratzon Hashem. When you listen to Hashem, even in things which are matters of Gashmias, you use them in a way that is pleasing to Hashem. That is how a person, tremendous thing for people to know. Everybody's always looking for ways to get brachas. We're running around all day getting brachas from here and there. The Torah is telling us over here that anything, even a thing which is the most Gashmias, if you use the thing which is most Gashmias for the Ratzon Hashem, that's how you get bracha. And Kalala, Chas v'Shalom, we know Kalala is the opposite. When it does not concern you, when does something turn into Kalala? When it does not concern you whether what you're doing pleases Hashem. It doesn't mean anything to you. That, says in the Nesivos Shalom, that is what we call Kalala. And every person knows what their challenges are. Every person knows what gets them. And what Hashem wants is that every person should take the thing that you desire most, the thing that you have the most difficulty with in Gashmias, the thing that, the taiva that gets you the most. What HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants is for you to take that and do the Ratzon Hashem with that. Offer those things, the things that you have the biggest Yetzer Hara for, the thing that you have the biggest taiva for. You have the potential to turn that around. There's a bracha and klala in everything. And what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants is for you to take that thing and give that to Hashem. Sacrifice that for Hashem. And it says in Nesivos Shalom something very interesting. That a person you could be a Yid who's Oisek in Torah. And you're Oisek in Tefillah. You're Oisek in all these wonderful things. Yet you could be a novel B'Shus HaTorah. A person, you could be Isaac and davening and learning, but what's happening is that you're fulfilling all your taivas with things that are technically mutter. A lot of times, we've discussed this, and Nesivos Shalom speaks about this over and over and over, that a person can mamish live his life without doing things that are asr, and quote, asr. Really, it's mutter, but a Yid knows how he's supposed to act. And what follows after that, if you do things that are technically mutter, which are not really the Ratzon Hashem, what's happening is that you're not fulfilling what you are supposed to be doing in this world. If you do things l'shem shamayim, you can lift up, like we said, everything in this world. You lift it up, make a tremendous kiddush Hashem. You can lift up everything to a matzav of bracha. And every single thing has the potential to be that way. Like we've said many times, from the Magid, Medrash, we say every day in davening, Mal'ah ha'aretz kinyonecha. And a one way of translating those words, says the Magid Chus Yagan Aleinu, he says that Mal'ah ha'aretz kinyonecha, that you see so many things, and so many things that seem so beautiful, and they seem so gashmias, but Mal'ah ha'aretz kinyonecha, the world is full of so many things to be kaineh HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The world is full of so many things to do Kiddush Hashem. And that's one way. By the Mishkan we know, also by the Mishkan we said that Nisava HaKadosh Baruch Hu very much wanted Liyos Loidira B'tachtoinim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu had everything that he wanted up in the Olamas Elyonim, up in Shemayim, everything was there. There was a tremendous amount of Kedusha and godliness here. Yet, what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted, this Ave HaKadosh Baruch Hu liyos lo'idira b'tachtonim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted a dira, he wanted a dwelling place here in the lowest things, b'tachtonim. He wanted here in the lowest things of Gashmi. That's what Hashem wants you to do. Hashem wants you to take that. That's where HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants you to place him, Kaviyachol. And if you do those things correctly, you give HaKadosh Baruch Hu tremendous satisfaction. So our parsha is telling us That the bracha is what? The bracha is Asher Tishma'u El Mitzvois Hashem Elokeichem. The bracha comes when you inject HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when you inject Hashem into all your actions. And says in the Nesivos Shalom, the Nesivos Shalom was always he always gave a lot of confidence, and he was also a realist. He never told people to walk on water. Nesivos Shalom says, I just told you could put bracha and use the most gashmiistic taiva to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He says, I know it's a very, very tall order, says in Nesivos Shalom. But you know what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants? HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to see that that's your goal. And it's that way, it's such an important lesson to know when we're coming to Elul, we're coming to Rosh Hashanah, we say, what, in a month, how can I totally change myself? How can I be a person full of Kedusha? How can I be somebody? You know what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to see? HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to see that you're striving for the bracha. You're striving for this. You want to reach this goal of where you're using things of Gashmis, whatever it is in your life. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to see that this is what you want. And just like the mitzvah, which we spoke about in the Parsha in the last week or two, we have a mitzvah of Ahavas Hashem. It says in Nesivos Shalom, who could say that they actually reach the madrega that's a person who loves Hashem? How do we get there? We have a mitzvah in the Torah to love Hashem, and can we ever really, really get to that point where we love Hashem? It's the same way over there, it says in Nesivos Shalom. The Ahavas Hashem Elokecha means that has to be what you want. That has to be your goal. It has to be what you want to actually get there. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to see that you try. So here now, when we come to Rosh Chodesh Elul, we understand that yes, you get a mitzvah. You're following the way of Hashem if you're trying. Every day from now until Rosh Hashanah, we're going to be faced with challenges and things that we see and things that we do, challenges that come our way. And what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants is for us to try. Turn every incident, turn everything, every small thing that you do. People have opportunities day and night. You come across people, how to greet a person, how to talk to people, how to deal with people, how to do anything that you do in your day. You have an opportunity every moment to turn it into bracha, to make it into Kiddush Hashem. And that is the beginning of Chodesh Elul. This is what we want to stress as we climb and we try to grow. Here's something I want to say small. It's not small, but it's small. If you look at each instance, you can try to do something small every single day, and it gives us a chance to grow. So we learn our Parsha. We see at the beginning of Parshas Re'eh, let's take the hope that we can begin with this week to turn our life into a life of bracha.